We've been calling for a hostel for men since the late Hubert Corby was Minister for Housing, and that was many, many years ago. There is one for homeless women, but not one for homeless men. So the last we heard was that the present government was going to construct one at the MOT area. Then that was dropped after a few months, and they announced that they would be building one at the Europa Point area with some 250 beds for essential workers, and that they would also be earmarking some beds for homeless men. But we haven't heard anything else after that.
In your opinion, what is the demand for these hostel rooms?
There is a demand because when couples separate, the judge will always, or almost always, give the flat to the wife and children, and the man becomes homeless. We don't see people sleeping rough here as we might see them in London or Paris or Madrid or wherever, because they're taken in by families and friends, but they are homeless, and we need to cater for them.
Now, you have had a meeting with the Minister for Housing, Pat Orfila. Can you bring us up to date with what the current situation is as regards the construction of rental housing?
Again, it's almost a year now since the government, well, the GSLP and the Liberals took office. They promised in the manifesto that they would be constructing housing for rental, but we haven't heard anything else. What the minister said not long ago was that there is a need to reclaim land, which we think is ironical because, I mean, there is no issue when it comes to finding land to construct housing for the wealthy, which we don't mind, of course. But then it becomes an issue when they have to find space or a location to build housing for the people.
Well, to be fair, the developer takes on the costs of those developments, and this would come under the taxpayers' cost.
That's right. But she said that there is a need to reclaim land, which would delay the whole process even further. But there is no need to reclaim land, as far as we can see, when it comes to constructing housing for wealthy people. There is the project at the Colin Island, but we don't know what's going to happen there. And also the project at the next to the Castle Bay. But I mean, again, that will take a long time.
And what's your understanding of what's happening with the new Rook residential home for the elderly? There's also Mount Alvernia. Any update on those situations?
No idea at all. No idea. I know that the opposition did put a question in Parliament, but there was no concrete answer to that, so we just don't know.
And in your view, would that alleviate some of the housing issues once people do move into Rook?
Those flats were to be earmarked for the pensioners, of course, because they are the ones who vacate bigger flats, which then can be used to allocate people on the waiting list.